Hi, Mimi. Hi, Mimi. Can you hear me? Hi, Mimi. Can you hear me? Unmute your speaker. Hey, Sam. I'm about to teach a class, but I'm having I'm having speaker issues. Here we go. Yeah. Someone was on, but now they came off. I think we only have. All right, let's test the audio. Yes. Hello. Testing. There we go. Oh, did it come through there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do it again.
hello? Okay, yeah. Well, I think it's coming through both because I have it mirroring, so that's fine. Okay. Yeah, I think that's okay.
When did you wake up, Jen?
Like 6, not 5. Let's see. Gallery view.
Your class at 8:30?
Uh-huh. Yep. Need some coffee if you want some coffee. This probably isn't that great. This probably isn't that great on the video.
Now you can see your feet. I would do that personally.
You would do this.
Proudy. My boy tried to set it up so that the front of the mat was right. Ribeiro.
Let's see, I think I have to let them in. Admit. There we go. Hi, Mimi, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi.
Oh, good, thanks. How are you?
Good.
Let me put it on gallery view here. Okay, you don't have to, but do you want to turn your camera on?
It is docked in, so it doesn't have a camera on when it's docked in.
Okay, no worries. We'll just give a few more minutes for the others to join.
Be able to pop it out and pop it out. But I'll probably mute it when we start because my kids are running around.
Oh, that's all right. I can. Okay, there you go. Let me see. I'll be right back. We just send the. Oh, there you are. Hey. Okay, she's muted. It's okay. You're muted. I see. That's fine. We're just waiting on. What's that?
Is it just me and you?
We're waiting on 2 more, and I just sent. So they have us sending the emails out to people with the Zoom link, like that email that you got to log in came from me. So I was just sent another email to a couple more people who signed in.
Okay.
So hopefully they'll get it and they'll join in a few minutes.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky because I have thought about joining a couple classes and I'm like, oh, I'm only like 5 minutes before the start. I don't know that I'd get the Zoom link in time. So.
Oh yeah, because the teacher's sitting there looking to see who's there, and then has to send her own emails. So maybe like 5 minutes, she's already kind of trying to get her Zoom going. But yeah, I just checked again, so I think that's probably all we're gonna have is 3. But we'll give them a couple more minutes to join. One of them is one is a new student, so
Okay.
Hope she realizes that there's an email.
Yeah.
So, can you still see it? Because it looks like it's signed me out.
What was that?
Can you still see it? Because it looks like it. I got this notice just now that it signed me out, but maybe that's somebody else trying to join.
Oh.
Yeah, we're still here. Okay, so somebody might be trying to log in. All right, let's give it just a few more minutes.
Sure. You know who? Syed. Miss Syed? About what?
It requires a number. I put a number, but I tried to submit it and I wasn't ready.
Is Daddy awake?
Yeah, I think it'll.
Okay. Can Dad send it, sweetie? All right, let me try.
Okay, well, I mean, maybe we can get started.
Okay.
I think one person is having a hard time getting on. I keep getting this notice that they're trying.
Oh.
And then I don't see the other at all. So we'll just get started and we'll see if they join.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So,
I'm going to mute you on my side so you don't hear all the background noise over here.
oh, okay, sounds good.
All right.
And we'll just start, let's just start easy seated here. Maybe let's cross-legged. Just, you can do half lotus if that's comfortable, but you don't need to. Just extend the arms. And just kind of, you can either let the elbows kind of draw in with the palms facing the ceiling, back the hands to the top of the knee, or you can just let the hands hang over, facing forward, wrists kind of hanging over the knee. Just try to sit tall here. You want a grounding stack from the crown of the head to the tailbone, but you can use a slight tip of the tailbone, tip of the pelvis forward, so you need that long length. Navel to pelvic floor is the long line you want. And while you're here, just building more of a feeling awareness breath. So you can start it slow and you can slowly build that Ujjayi breath, right? And as you're thinking about your stack, you might also kind of float the chin up a little bit, keeping the head light on the neck. And then relaxing everything in the face, so even the eyes as they close, no tension in the forehead. And then maybe take the tongue to the back of the top teeth, making sure there's a clear passage for that breath to pass through, clear to the navel. And then when you find that Ujjayi breath activated, the belly button might extend forward, or you could do this side rib breath, expanding east and west to the rib cage. And then after a few moments of shared breathing, we'll inhale and take the arms up. And bring the hands together at the top and gaze to the thumb and drop the neck back. As the palms are together, but the fingers aren't interlaced, so palms just together, drop the shoulders down away from the ears and pull the arms back a little bit more. Open the eyes now as you gaze to the thumbs, and then travel that down to the heart center, gazing at the thumbs the whole way. Let's do one more of those. Deep inhale. Drop the shoulders, gaze up, look at the thumbs, down to heart center on the exhale. And then with the hands here at heart center, you're gonna just press up. The elbows will come together and then you'll lift the arms as high as you can with those elbows still together, trying to keep that stack, that bone stack, and not arching the back too much. And as you hold there, muscles very active, you're gonna press the elbows out, like as if you could send the elbows forward and then keep them up in line with the shoulders at least or even higher. And then just that action of constantly thinking about pushing the elbows forward becomes a lot. And if you want to there, you can open up the hands. And then see if the forearms can peel apart with the elbows still touching together. Yeah, nice. One more deep inhale as you lift the elbows up and reach them out. And then exhale, release, and just kind of shake the arms out. Let them down to the side, shake them out. And just do some kind of shoulder shrugs back and forward. And then with the next, so we'll just taking that left hand out, take that right arm up and around. You're gonna reach for the ear on the left side. And then just kind of let that right hand guide that right ear down to the right shoulder. And you can sort of drop that right shoulder to relax, let the forearm of that right hand do most of the work. And then this left arm, as it floats, it's in line with the left side torso. And you're just kind of reaching gently through the fingertips, enough to feel another sensation of stretch in the left shoulder. And of course, along the left side of the neck. And then if you take the right hand away from the ear, just take the right arm, just let it rest down on the floor, and turn and look at that right shoulder. And then bringing everything back to center. Take the left arm up and around to the right earlobe, and then reach that right hand. It's not lifting high, it's just kind of like reaching down low to the ground, but almost as far as it can go. So you see that, feel that nice stretch on the right side shoulder and the right side neck. And then dropping that left shoulder as you use the left hand along the side of the face. And then as you let that left arm go, you're just going to take it down to the floor along the left side torso and gaze. Turn your chin down, gaze to the left shoulder. And then let's bring it all back to center. And opening up, starting with the hips a little bit here. Let's take the legs long for a moment. But then we want to reset. So let's open up these hamstrings just a little bit. We can sit nice and tall. You can sit here and engage the low quad above the knee. So right here above the knee, very engaged. And then if you're real open in the hamstrings, you might drive the calves down to the floor as you lift the heels and just kind of sit nice and tall in there. And then inhale as you bring the arms up. And then exhale as you fold forward, leading with the chest. And then as far as you can go with the chest, and then let the arms come down to meet somewhere on the leg. And then you'll use those arms to pull. So wherever they touch down, maybe you scale it back just a little bit so they can help pull and lengthen the chest. And then even as you're doing that, you can roll the shoulders down, send the chest through, gaze up. And then as you come back to center, we're going to open up the hips with the this double fire log pose. So if you take the left shin and you align it with the top edge of the mat and flex that left foot. And then you just take this the right foot over and see if the ankle can come to the outside of the left knee. Yeah, and even if you have, you know, like blocks and things, you can set your hands on blocks. I don't have, my blocks are holding up my computer right now, so but you can have them. And then how this right glute is your right glute. If it's hovering, the first thing you want to try to do is just kind of sit back down. And maybe the knees are really far up, even there's a space between the left, a space between the right and the right knee and the left ankle. The idea is just sort of lift up and out of the torso, that pelvic floor tipping forward again, long line navel to pelvic floor, and you slowly starting to bring that left knee down toward the floor and the right knee down toward the left ankle. And when you look down, you see this tight triangle because it's a stack, knee over ankle. So it's a lot different than half lotus, for instance. But yeah, and then you work on keeping both feet flexed. You get to a point where you're activating enough from your middle here, from the hips and the core, that even the feet might start to shake. So if that's happening, don't worry about it. You can pulse through the glutes. So while you're sitting here, you just can kind of take these gentle like pulses. And what you'll notice is it'll drive the knees down deeper as well. And if you do have a block, you can take one to close off the space between the right knee and the left ankle if you want to press that right knee into something as you pulse through the glutes. Nice. Yeah, so I mean, this is just one of those things that you can sit in for quite a while. So we'll guide you through this for a few minutes and then we'll go to the other side. And one thing you can do if you're able to twist here is you can do either side, right? You can twist over to the right, you can twist over to the left. It's just kind of different. If you're on the right, you're going to grab a hold of either the bottom part of the left foot, or you can press down on that right knee and twist and look over the right shoulder. And then if you bring it back through your center, when you're twisting to the other side, so you can take a hold of the underside of the right foot with the right hand and those left fingertips back behind. Try to get those left fingertips as close to the tailbone as possible. But also you don't want your right knee to float away from that left ankle any degree further than it was when you were in your neutral position. So think about that. Think about still pulsing through that right glute, driving that right knee down. And again, unwinding to bring it back to center. And then we've been sitting in this for a while, so nice way to come out of it is just sort of lean back. You can even use your arms to help your legs out. Take it forward again and we'll shake it out. And again, in between sides, let's get that forward fold again. So if you bring it up, and so when you're in this compass position here, and you can bring the hands together, the shoulders, drop those down and then pull the hands back and try to take them at least in line with the earlobes, right? And then as you start to come down, as soon as you feel those arms are coming away from their parallel position, then just bring them down. And then if you go deeper from there, then you're gonna pull with the arms as we did before. And another inhale to roll the shoulders back and lift the chest. Engage the low core, pull a little bit more. And then bring it back. And then the second side, you'll take the right ankle or right shin and align it with the front part of the mat, top edge of the mat. That's just an alignment thing. I use it, I'll usually have then the right side of the thigh, like in the corner. Sometimes I set my leg up in the corner of the mat. And then you'll take the left ankle over till it comes to the outside of the right knee. And again, we're hovering off this left glute. The first step is to just lift that left heel and sit back down on both glutes and then see where the knees float from there. And that might be enough and you just stay there, but as you sit in this position, what you might find is, it starts like this and then slowly that left knee can start to come down toward that right ankle and that right knee can start to come down toward the floor. And you can use the hands on blocks, rolling the shoulders back. You can activate through the hips, really engage quads, hips, glutes, but you don't have to hold it the whole time. You can engage for a few seconds and then kind of relax and let it go for a moment because it's a lot to hold the glutes, the core, the quads, all of that. And you can take these little pulsing of the glutes is effective because you pulse and then you release, and you pulse and then you release. It's only when you want to pulse and sort of hold at the extent of your posture, hold it for a few more, then release. So really it's kind of just like your dynamic tension, you're creating the tension. You can either sit in this position or you can sit in this position and make it active. So as before, we can turn the torso, take a twist off to the left side. Now that's going to take your right hand to your left knee and not to press there very hard, but just kind of like rest there. Again, you want the hips to do most of the work, driving that knee down. So just rest the hand and those fingertips back along the back and as close to the tailbone as you can because that shoulder, that left shoulder is going to come down, press down and lift the torso. And then again, when you sweep it back through center, you can take the left hand to the bottom of the left foot, the right fingertips back as we twist to the other side. And then again, when you're thinking about it, you want to keep that left knee driving down. Because the tendency is it might want to come up even more than it does, as I said, in the neutral spine position. And then unwind. Back to center. And again, just kind of lean back and take the legs long. Now this next one, it's not going to look like a lot, but it might feel like a lot. So the right leg, you're going to bring it up and you're going to take it out. And the idea is to, all right, so you can get the knees close together and you might be hovering off this right glute, but you want to bring that right glute down and you want to create as much as possible a right angle here between the legs. So then the idea is to be able to stay up nice and tall. And even if you can take the fingertips down and sort of lift up, you want to see if there's any motion in the hips right here, rocking forward. And then when you get that forward pelvic tilt, where again the length between the navel and pelvic floor is lengthened, then you rest back down on the mat. And then you just kind of let go of the upper inner thigh. And you sort of kind of rest on that left tailbone is the top of leg. This, my right glute is still hovering just a bit in this position, so yours could be too, or yours might be as well. And then you can always just support yourself, the hands to the side or straddling the right leg, something like that. But you can also, if you're able to hold the position without the hands down on the sides, you can bring the hands to center. And again, it's kind of like you want to slowly let this right inner thigh release, and you might feel like it's coming from the outside in, like from the knee inward. And you want to walk, if you can, the hands forward, but you don't have to take it that far. And ease off. Again, you want to, so the way to come out of this one is just kind of roll over that left hip until the right leg can swing forward. And then just want to take that to the other side. So the left leg back. And as much as you can, you're creating this right angle here with the legs of that left knee far away from that right knee. And again, you want to prop yourself up. See if the hips can press forward. And here, when I'm rocking, now my hips are back, my pelvic floor is tipped down, and I'm going to replant my glutes. And it's really like I'm on the top of those glutes. I feel it right here on the underside of that right leg. It's like right at the pelvic floor. And then just let yourself melt into that left side. So that left hip crease, that left hip flexor, slowly let it release. And then as you do that, you're going to feel that left glute, because it's going to want to be engaged as you just, even if you just sit in this position, because it has to be more open before that left glute's going to totally relax. But you can think about it mindfully, like slowly, if I'm relaxing that left hip flexor, slowly my left glute will relax. You feel it. And then you can take the hands to the inside if that's available. Nice, and then again, if you sweep the arms over to the right and you lean over that right leg and then sweep that left leg forward to unwind. Nice. And I'm just gonna have you spin around to a tabletop position. And as we do, just getting a few nice cat-cows in there. So first, drop the belly. Send the hips up, press through the hands, send your gaze up. And then reverse all of that by tucking the tailbone, driving again through the hands, and then maybe the fingertips even crawl forward or crawl back toward the knees, and you can press into the fingertips and you can feel it in the shoulder. Engage the core in the cat. And then release back, down cow. And then taking it into a neutral tabletop here, just getting a little bit for the wrists. So if you take the hands in fists and you bring them to the ground, one really good way to open up the front line of the hand and the forearm is to just come on down on the tops of those hands. Just roll it down. And then the idea is to keep the fists still tight because they're gonna wanna sort of open up there. But then if you take the knees closer to the hands and if you can sit back onto the glutes from there, how does that go for you? From there, take the backs of the hands to the top of the knees and just rotate the hands all the way out till the palms are fingers facing out, palms to the ceiling still, and then take the hands wide and then just press them back in. You don't have to recreate a fist, but as tight as you can, the hands just kind of coming together, and then do it fast. That full range of motion of opening the hand all the way and then bringing it together. Full range of motion, fingers open wide, fingers come together, and you try to do it fast. And when the forearms start to get really kind of tired, keep going for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake that out just a bit. And then with the hands facing out, come back into your tabletop. And you can bring those wrists close together if that's available to you. Just gonna rock a little bit side to side. And then if you want to tip them down, you can come over the tops of the hands and sink the hips back toward the heels again. And then coming back to your neutral tabletop position, we're just going to take it out with the shoulders. So keep the hips up, but just kind of walk the arms out. And so you feel a nice stretch in the shoulders, and you can plant the hands and let the shoulders kind of dip down as you do. And then from there, a little bit of strength move, just press into the palms, come up with these straight arms, and then as you shift your body forward, come all the way down to the belly, right? And then from there, you're just gonna cross the right arm under, cross the left arm around, and just try to thread the arms as much as possible, and make sure you can still keep weight in the hands, and you're planting the hands down on the ground. And then you're just gonna pull the hands together. And you're gonna lift up out of the shoulders. It's gonna be this nice feeling of pulling the shoulders, the outside line of the shoulders. So you feel it all the way down the shoulder blade to the outside edge of each side torso. And then you can unwind one at a time. And then send the arms just forward here. You do this first locust pose. We're gonna have the tops of the feet stay on the mat. And then you're gonna have the arms parallel and just lift up as much as you can, just the torso and the arms. Keep the tops of the feet resting down if you can. Then take the hands to center, arms out to a T, east and west, and then drive them back. And when you drive them back, you might interlace the hands and pull down. Maybe you can grab the palm, maybe you can get the palms to touch. And then when you're in that position, you let the feet float. So shoulders coming up, feet floating up, full locust. Might require speeding up the breath a little bit, so more of a quick exhale. And then when you bring the arms back around, slide them all the way in. so that the fingertips keep resting, but you get to a point where if you pull the elbows close, and you can rest atop the feet again, we pull the elbows close together and drive the shoulders down, you no longer have the palms resting. And from there again with the tops of the feet, just take a baby cobra with the tops of the feet resting down. And then bring it down, and then finally take the hands, the fingertips are right under the chest, and then inhale. Find your full cobra. Rock a little bit side to side, press with the hands, come out of the shoulders, roll the shoulders back, send the gaze up. And then just let the knees rest back down if they weren't already, and then take it back to a child's pose. Let's keep it in a closed child's pose, this first one, so knees together. And then now as you come back up, you're gonna come back into the tabletop, but just momentarily. We're gonna take that right leg and bring it forward. So we're not even engaged yet with the legs. We just in like, so engaged would be if you have a diagonal line from knee to knee, right? Activating that back glute. Here, we're just in this right angles of the legs. Yep. And you can sort of take that right leg out to the right, but ultimately we're gonna come down, straddle that right foot, and drive that left toe down. You're gonna come up into a lunge from there. So you just set up with the body low and come inside that lunge. Now think about this right side torso staying connected as you drive all the weight into that right foot, and just sort of bend through the left knee to launch and lift. You're just bringing that left knee in close. And then you're gonna take it out to the outside of where your left hand is resting. And when you come back for a squat, torso's still gonna kind of be like aligned with the right side. And you can pulse that left knee out to the left. Yeah. And then just take it back. It's just kind of slow forward and back, so find that lunge again. And what you can do between sides is find a plank, so you can bring that right foot back to meet the left. Hang out here for a moment. You can always take it back down to the knees. And then one more time, create the lunge with that right leg forward. Slowly step up with that left leg. Step that left foot out further to the left of your left hand. Sit down so that the thighs are parallel to the floor, but the chest still lifts and the torso is aligning that right side. Yep. And then pulse that left knee out. It's a lot for the quads. And then finally, when you step it back that last time, take the left knee down. So now what you might find is you stepped back to a lunge with that left leg. So when you take that left foot down, you are gonna find that you're engaged left side to right side, and that left glute is nice and tight. All right, so inhale, bring the arms up just for a moment. And then take the hands down to the knee. And then when you press into the knee, just try to open up the chest. So you're trying to take like a little supported back bend here. So as much as the bend can come out of the elbows, but also, you don't want the shoulders coming up toward the ears. And then if you can sweep the arms forward again, it's like you're gonna reach as far as you can forward. And this time when you circle the arms up, just sort of let them hang and drape the head, drop to the back, drape the neck back. Maybe at some point, you'll get fingertips to touch down. Floor on either side. Then when you come back around, you're gonna just shift the weight from that right foot back into the left knee and find a runner stretch here. There you go. And then shifting the weight back forward onto that right foot. You're gonna ground through the left toes. Ground through the left toes enough to press yourself up into just a forward fold. So now we're in standing forward fold. And just hang out there for a minute. You can bend through the knees and plant the feet, but rock side to side if that feels nice. Or you can kind of take a more static position. You can reach back behind the ankles and pull the elbows and arms back. One thing I like to do is pretend like I'm pulling the inner thighs apart. Well, don't pretend. Actively, I try to do that. And they pull apart a little bit, but it's like you're pressing to the outside edges of feet, pulling the inner thighs apart. You can feel it all the way activate the outside line of the leg to the glutes. And what it might do is release a little bit more of the lumbar, take you a little bit deeper into your forward fold. Let's get a half salutation and a full salutation in here. So if you want to heel toe your feet all the way together, look into your flat back, inhale, exhale, fold, inhale, rise, all the way up. And let's do hands release all the way. And then the next inhale, rise up with the arms. And exhale down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And exhale. Arms release all the way. And then we'll do that full, incorporating the plank. So inhale, arms up. Exhale down. Inhale, flat back. Stepping it back to plank. Find your low plank. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, you're in your down dog. And just hold on to that down dog for a moment. You might open up the ankles a bit so you can come high on the toes. And then think about relaxing the ankles first, and then as you roll over the ball of the feet, heels just come a little closer to the floor if not there already. Press through the palms. Press through the fingers even. You can be light on the back of the palm if you press enough through the fingers, taking any tension out of the wrist. Then another thing you can do is activate the front line of the leg and that hip flexor I mentioned. You can tuck the tailbone just a little bit. And then gaze forward for a moment, bend a little bit through the knees, and on an inhale, make your way feet to hands. If you're gonna jump, step, or walk forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And release the arms. Just getting back down to our second side. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, let's sweep the arms east and west and kind of pause here at the midpoint. Lifting the chest, activating the legs, opening up the hamstrings. If you can turn the inner thighs together, you might feel the glutes turn on. And then with the next exhale, just all the way back down. Inhale for your flat back. Exhale, and then we take it back here to plank. Low plank. Inhale, cobra. And then just back to that tabletop where we're gonna bring the left leg through, right? So now we're at tabletop. Just gonna bring the left leg up, and it comes to like the inside of the left hand. You've got the left hand close to the outside edge of the left foot. Right hand is straddling it, but further out to the right. And just be in your right angle here. You can walk that left foot out to the left a little bit. When you come down, and right before you go into that, we're gonna take it back into the lunge. Right before you go into that lunge, activate the right glute. Then press down with the right toes, press up. And you're in your lunge. And then staying low, staying connected as much as possible to this left side. Launch with the weight in that left side foot. Just bring the right knee close. And then take the right foot out to the outside of that right hand. Ground the whole foot and then sink the hips back and down a little bit. Or pulse that right knee out to the right a little bit. And then again, take the right leg back into its lunge. And then meet that left leg to the right for plank. Just sort of hang out here for a moment. You might rock it side to side or take it in circles. And then when you bring that left leg forward again. One more time here. We're going to launch onto that left side. Take the right foot out. Straddles the hands. Torso stays near the left side. Pulse that right knee out. Nice. And taking it back. Back to lunge. And then here, just drop that right knee down. Take it back into that runner's stretch. Bring the weight back forward on that left foot. Inhale, rise as you're engaged here. Hands come down to the knee. And with the hands on the knee, you might engage even a little bit more. Just make sure that when you do find that deep diagonal line from knee to knee, you've got the left side as your stack, so the left ankle right under the left knee. Press with the hands. Send the gaze back. And then as you come forward, just reaching with the arms as far as possible. And then think about all the length as you come back up with that inhale. And then sweep the arms all the way down in their half circle with the palms facing forward. You might shrug the shoulders once and pull the fingertips down. And inhale back up. Hands back to surround that left foot. And back again to your lunge. And in a launch, you'll just step forward from that lunge into the forward fold. And in this one, take the feet wide. And you can hang out in a wide forward fold for a moment. But we're going to come down into squat. So whatever distance you usually have your feet, your legs inside the low squat, I'm going to come there. So when you're ready, just drop the hips down. And working on getting the torso right inside the inner thighs. Nice. You can rock a little bit side to side. Hands to heart center. You can press the knees out. Nice. And if you don't need the elbows to the inside the knees, driving them out, you try to keep the knees driving out. And hands can come forward. And then for a stretch, you can take the left hand down. The upper arm stays in front of the left knee. Fingertips come down. Right arm is up for a twist, and you can totally just press the upper back into that upper left knee. Then if you wanted to bind, it would be this right hand coming down. See if you can grab somewhere with the left hand. Or you can just keep the left hand planted for balance, and you can sort of just sweep the right hand down. The back of the hand might come to the small of the back. And inhale, bring that right hand back around and just switch inside. So you'll sweep that right hand to the inside of the right knee. Getting that torso along the right side. And when the left arm comes up, don't forget about still driving that left knee out to the left. And again, if you wanted to bind with the arms, or if you want to just take that left hand down with the back of the left hand on the small of the back, palm facing back toward the back wall. Unwind, taking it back up. And then sweeping it again back to the inside. And feel all this on the ankles now. So come on up onto the toes. You can bring the feet together. Knees are close. And then as you balance here on the toes with the knees up, try to take the knees down so that the thigh is parallel. And if that's working out, you might balance here. Maybe you can take the hands away. There you go. So now while we're still working out the ankles, we'll take it up and down. So bringing the hands out here, and don't worry about, falling out of it. This is a balancing pose. We're gonna slowly come up to the count of 5. Inhale deeply first. Exhale. And on your inhale, start to move up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you come to the top, stay on the toes for a moment, then release the ankles. You can sort of roll it out. We'll take it back down, but press it forward a little bit each side. And then we'll take it down. So arms straight out in reverse order. So we'll take it to the toes first. Inhale on the exhale, start to bring it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Making it all the way back down on 5, the end of your exhale. Take another inhale with the hands resting, and then bring the hands forward just for a moment. We're gonna turn the knees out, and you'll work on getting the heels to touch. And working on a balance here. The knees drive out, but also the knees drive down. So if you get to a point there on the toes, you can lift both hands. That's the idea. Nice. Chest lifts up, shoulders roll back. And then again, reaching forward, bringing the feet back together, and then taking it down into your forward fold again. Inhale for your flat back. Exhale into the fold. Inhale, rise. And take it hands to heart center. Now we'll get into a little bit of a flow here. So at the top of the mat, inhaling, taking the arms up. Exhale down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale back to your plank. Low plank, or you can drive down to the knees. Inhale, cobra. And a down dog. So first start with that right leg in the air. Right leg in the air, and you can open up the hips so you can turn that right knee out. And we take it back into your extension, bringing it through, and it's like we're going to come into the lunge, but when you bring that right foot forward, step it up, step that left foot up, and so you're in this tight triangle pose. And it's okay if the hands don't touch down, or if you need a little bit of a bend in that right knee to get the hands to touch down, but again, just drape the torso over the right leg. And then with those fingertips reaching forward, weights in the right foot, you're going to take that left leg up for extension or for standing split. And then slowly as you bend through that right leg, take it back into, I'm going to set up for warrior 1 here. So the foot, left foot turns out 45 degrees, outside edge of the line of the foot trying to ground. Inhale, bring the arms up. And you're going to open up into warrior 2. Find a reverse warrior here. And then as you take it back to warrior 2, Take the bend out of that right knee and tip into Trikonasana. And then bringing it back up. As you come back into that warrior two, take the arms down and clasp the fingers behind. And then you're gonna get into a humble warrior. So you might come down just as much as you can to the inside of that right leg. Maybe the shoulder comes all the way inside the right knee. And then before you let go, you're gonna change the torso back to its neutral position, and you're gonna reach the arms forward as much as possible. And then take the hands down to surround the right leg, nice. And then find your extension again. And then bringing that right foot down to meet the left. Let's come high on the toes. We'll get a vinyasa in between, so bend with the knees. If you're ready to jump to the hands, by all means. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And release the arms. And we'll get the other side, so inhale, bringing the arms up. Exhale, you might sweep the arms east and west. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, back to your plank. Finding the low plank through your cobra on an inhale. Exhale, down dog. And again, you'll take the left leg to the sky and open up the hip. And it's like you want to bring that left heel close to the glute. And taking it back into your extension, you can slowly bring it down as if you're coming into lunge. You do momentarily come into lunge, but you're going to step it up with that back foot and come into this triangle pose, draping the torso over the left leg. And then walking the hands a little bit forward to that left foot, bend into the left knee, all the weights in that left foot, right leg lifts, standing split. And then slowly you're gonna let that right leg come down, setting up and adjusting for warrior one. And on your next inhale, bring it into warrior one. And open that up to warrior two. Nice. Strong through the arms, east and west, gaze over those left fingertips ideally. And then reverse warrior. When you make it back into your warrior two, take the bend out of that left leg and tip into Trikonasana. And another bend through that left knee as you come back to warrior two. Inside warrior two, you want to drop the hands down or drop the arms, interlace the hands, pull the arms down, open up the shoulders. Yep, nice. And then tip to the inside as much as you can of that left leg. Maybe the shoulder comes all the way, and you can even hang the head, crown of the head may one day reach inside to the floor. And then before you let go, you're gonna unwind, square the torso, reach the arms as far forward as you can, still driving through the outside line of that right foot, and then bring the hands down, planting yourself back into your lunge, coming back onto the toe of the right foot, and left leg extension. And then bring that right leg back, left leg back down to meet the right. And just from here, just kind of walk the hands back to meet the toes. Inside your forward fold again. You can take a different variant of the forward fold. You might bind with the two peace fingers around the big toes and pull with the arms. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, and just kind of stand up from there. Now, do we have time for a few? It's getting close to the end, but maybe a few little balancing poses here. I want to do dancer for a moment, but I want to do it a little bit different style. So what I want to try is the right knee is close to the left knee, just like this. And that right shin is just parallel to the floor. You're just going to sort of punch that right foot back. Like you're going to kick, like the back wall is close, but not close enough. And you just want to kick and touch it. Then, when you're kicking back, hold that position. Keep the right hand on the right hip. Take the left arm up. And driving the inner thighs, or keeping them as close together as possible, tilt through, keep that bend in the leg. And if you had a mirror in front of you, the idea would be to see the heel above the head in the mirror. And when you shift out of that, when you come back to the neutral position, bring the knee up and grab a hold. Nice. And then just want to either create a tree pose. So wherever you are inside your tree pose, whether you want to take it to the inside or down below, all it needs is an external rotation of the whatever side you're on. There you go, good. So you're all the way up here, and you might bring it to closed hands. All right, nice. And then focus on the breath inside of the balancing, right? Because that's one of the things, it's like you always, a tendency to hold the breath, and also don't think about it too much. And be okay with the wobble. You're never gonna be balancing on that foot. It's always gonna be a corrective motion. And then you can slowly bring that back down. And then for the other side, right? So you're gonna be the right leg up, right leg is the same side, yeah. And you're just gonna kick it back. Feeling the action of that leg going straight back, keeping the left knee in line with the right knee. And then hold it there at the back of the extent of the kick. And then keeping that line of the front line all the way from crown of head to knee. And then that line of that back leg where the shin is going to become your parallel stack to the floor, the knee to the ankle. And just kind of drive. You can bring the left arm up if you want to. And again, as you unwind, knee passes the other knee, comes to hold on at the top, and then you can move into a tree variant on that side. Nice. And you're gonna slowly release. And you're gonna start to wind down. Let's inhale, bring the arms up, and sweep it down. One more vinyasa to get back down. Back to your plank. Low plank to cobra. And then just rest onto the knees. When you make it back to your tabletop, let's spread out the legs this time. Toes together, knees out wide. Sit the hips back first and then fall inside torso, reaching with the hands. And then you walk the hands back. Sit onto the glutes for a moment, rock onto the glutes and the tops of the feet as you bring the legs back together, and then just sweep out to one side, lean onto the hip, roll the legs forward. And then when you come down into a long body stretch, so you're gonna reach the arms forward first, and then inhale to rise up, and then exhale to counter all the way down. And then your next inhale, reach all the way back behind you. I have some obstacles here. Reach all the way back, reaching with the fingertips, extending through the heels. One more deep inhale there, and then on the exhale, draw the knees in and rest the low back on the mat. Just kind of get comfortable wrapping the arms around in front of the shins, and then open up for a happy baby. Reaching somewhere on the outside of the line, driving the knees down on either side torso. You could rock side to side, or you can sort of swivel the hips side to side for more of an oblique action. And then when you're ready, we're gonna send the legs straight up to the sky, open up the arms. And then you're gonna get the right leg to cross over the left, eagle legs, and you'll wrap, if you can, that right toe back behind the left calf. Now when you send the knees back down, they're gonna go off to the left. And your gaze is gonna go to the right, bodies in opposite directions. And then inhale, bringing it back through to your center. Legs come to center, then you can unwind and extend them through the ceiling again. And then relace left over right. And maybe that left toe hooks behind the right calf. You're gonna bend the knees back forward first, and then the knees go off to the right. And your gaze to the left. And unwind. Again, back to center, unwind the legs. One more time, send them up to the ceiling. Then the arms that are out of T, just take them back down along the sides of the torso. Bring the palms to touch down on the floor. Take a deep inhale and press the low back into the mat, and then slowly let the legs descend. Pressing the low back into the mat the whole way down, or as much of the way as possible. And then when the heels touch down, you can relax into your Shavasana, and you can make any sort of last minute adjustment so that your Shavasana is comfortable. And then take a moment to rest and surrender. While you're resting in me, I'll just take a moment to say thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful morning. We're new at this, so we got started a little bit late, but no worries, I took you over a little bit late. We'll work out all the kinks and everything, so stick with us, but I hope you're safe and well and have a wonderful day, all right?
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.